Yeah. And I know a lot of you are listening and going, I know who the killer is, or it's so obvious. Well, excuse me. It's not my fault God made me pretty.
Sure he did. Sure. So pretty.
God made me pretty and not able to guess movie killers. So sorry.
Lights, camera, and action. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? We're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Let's get ready to join Anna and Jimmy as they go back and watch those movies you remember being oh so awesomely good. Horror movies that scared. Comedy movies that dared.
Damn!
And action movies so preposterously ludicrous that they defied the laws of common sense. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
Welcome back to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. We are in the 2000s, and we are about to take a look at a remake of a 1980 slasher, My Bloody Valentine. What do you remember about My Bloody Valentine?
I remember Jensen Ackles. I actually remember this movie fairly well, and I remember pretty much the story of it. And I remember watching it and thinking, God, this is so incredibly cheesy, but very entertaining. And I did feel bad for like 30 seconds because I dragged my friend who hates scary movies to the theaters to watch this on Valentine's Day.
Nice.
In 2009. I was like, it's out. Let's go. And she was like, But yeah, no, I remember a lot about it, which actually surprised me.
Well, yeah, it has Jensen Ackles. It has Jamie King, Betsy Rue. It has Tom Atkins from, he's been in a lot. All that's coming to mind is Halloween 3. But yeah, there's the other kid from Kerr Smith. Was he in Dawson's Creek?
Dawson's Creek, yes. Yeah, no, there are a lot of like actors that were very popular at the time, and a lot of them are still working fairly regularly now.
Yeah, and it was directed by Patrick Lussier, who was known more as an editor until he did Terminator Genesis, Dracula 2000, Drive Angry. But I don't know if this was his directorial debut. I just want to take a look. No. Oh, he's done some great ones. Oh, he did a bunch of that. He did Scream the TV series, did an episode. He directed Dracula 2000, The Prophecy 3, Dracula 3, White Noise, The Light. Yeah, so he's done a lot in horror. I remember I did not go to the theater and see this. I rented it. And I remember renting it going, this was probably a third or fourth movie. And I'm like, I just got it because it was new. And I thought for sure it was going to suck ass. And then I remember watching it going, this was actually really good. I like this movie. It surprised me. Oh, yeah. If you went to the theater, did you watch it in 3D?
I did. I did watch it in 3D. The 3D, I have a beef with 3D movies because I feel the 3D is completely unnecessary. And 9 times out of 10, whatever is actually 3D is so superfluous to the movie. Like, you're like, you put that in just so you could have a 3D element. And that's annoying.
Charge a couple more bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this movie does not need to be in 3D. And nor did Step Up 3D need to be in 3D.
Oh, who the fuck would watch Step Up 3D? You.
That would be me. I have watched all of the Step Up movies.
Did you watch that new one where it was turned into a horror movie?
No, you're thinking of Bring It On.
I am thinking of Bring It On. Yeah.
Bring It On got there's a chair horror movie, and it was amazing, kind of terrible, but amazing. I love this.
Step Up is the school dance one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It starts in the school dance, continues in a school dance, then goes out to the streets.
And then 3D. Why would they
3D in the streets?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Right. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's terrible, but amazing. You really have to be a dance fan to watch the Step Up movies and not want to kill yourself. Just Step On.
I'm pretty sure I've seen the first one.
Oh God, I tried rewatching the first one, and I was like, I think I just have to put this on mute because I can't listen to this crappy dialogue. I'm just gonna watch the dancing.
Nice. Okay, so let's take a look at box office for My Bloody Valentine 2009. It was released June 16th, 2009. What the fuck?
No, it's January.
Actually is January, isn't it?
Yeah, January 16th, 2009.
I would have put that in wrong. Oh, get out of here, you. So yes, it was actually, yes, January 16th, because I remember, okay, you're a month, less than a month out, but you are within that area.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It was
that
still in
good.
theaters for Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Budget, $15 million.
Mm.
It's not that bad, really. Opened in 2,534 theaters at number 3, with a weekend total of 8.2 million. Behind new releases Paul Blart Mall Cop and Notorious. Now, domestically, it brought in about 51, so it already made made money, and international 49. So it made over 100 million. So it did quite well. Like
Yeah,
not a runaway, but that's not bad on 15 million.
they made a straight profit on that. Like,
I'm surprised there was not a My Bloody Valentine 2.
I'm surprised too, because I thought they would have just kept making sequels until the general public was like, please stop.
Or at least a straight to rental or DVD My Bloody Valentine 2. Yeah. Especially when it makes that much money. But what do we know?
Apparently not enough.
No. All right, let's go to the tail tape for My Bloody Valentine 3D. Came out in 2009. It's a holiday horror. It is rated R and comes in at 1 hour and 41 minutes. Taglines. That's actually pretty cool.
That's a great image.
For those listening, it's My Bloody Valentine 3D wallpaper. It's a box of chocolates, and in the middle is an actual heart. Even the lighting on it's creepy.
Yep.
On January 16th, Get Your Heart Broken.
Yeah, that's not bad. Not great.
Nothing says date movie like a 3D ride to hell.
That's shitty. That's so shitty.
He's gonna break your heart.
Okay, see, they should have done that for the first one instead of Harry's gonna break your heart. He's gonna break your heart. Perfect.
You can't get closer than this.
That don't make no sense.
3D.
No, then stupid.
2009, they were really pushing the.
Yeah.
Are you ready for your heart to be broken? He's going to do it.
That's stupid.
Yeah, these are bad. Get your heart broken. That's it.
That was disappointing.
Yeah.
1981 had better taglines.
Yeah. Synopsis. 10 years ago, an inexperienced coal miner named Tom Hanniger, Jensen Ackles, caused an accident that killed 5 men and put a 6th, Harry Warden, into a coma. A year later, on Valentine's Day, Harry woke up and murdered 22 people with a pickaxe before dying. Now Tom has returned home, still haunted by the past, and something else is back in harmony. A axe-wielding killer in a miner's mask, who may be the ghost of Harry, come to claim Tom and his friends. So a little more of a story in this one.
Yeah. Like it ties the past to the present other than just don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like a personal vendetta thing as opposed to a general town curse.
Yeah. And here is the poster for My Bloody Valentine. My Bloody Valentine. It looks like they're pushing the 3D. For those listening, it's kind of like a motion of the pickaxe coming out of the poster. It's okay. It's
fine.
Yeah. Nothing great. All right. Now we go to Rotten Tomatoes. This was surprising. 110 critic reviews, and it has 62%. That's high for a horror movie, especially.
That's really high.
100,000 audience has that 44%. That's weird.
It's weird that the audience is lower than the critics for this.
Yeah. I could see if this was like a really great story, had a lot of depth, but it doesn't. So I don't get why the audience dislikes it less than unless I forgot something. Critics' consensus is this gory, senses assaulting slasher film is an unpretentious, effective mix of old school horror stylings and modern 3D technology. All right, let's start with the fresh, and you may go first.
The movie provides a few hearty laughs, a profusion of nonsensical stupidity, and plenty of so bad it's good moments to entertain viewers in the back row, whispering to each other about the inanity of it all. Brian Eggert, Deep Focus Review, original score 2.5 out of 4.
My Bloody Valentine 3D is a cheap, tacky, and throwaway as the plastic glasses that come with it. But for a good old-fashioned Friday night at the movies, it's damn near unbeatable. Ali Gray, theshiznit.co.uk, original score 4 out of 5. And that's what I'm looking for. That's in any horror movie.
100%.
It just has to be, just has to be fun.
Yeah. Cheesy at times, not the best acting-wise, but much more entertaining than it had any right to be, thanks to a cheerful embrace of the 3 Bs of 80s horror. Boobs, blood, and brutality. Ron Hogan, Den of Geek, original score 3 out of 5.
Yes, and can we just bring that back? Boobs. Because that's sorely lacking in today's horror movies, and there's a reason. You want people to go back to the theater? Boobs, blood, and brutality.
You've got problems. Like, I'm just gonna straight up say it. You've got this little obsession with boobs.
Hey, Ron Hogan agrees with me. And
Ron Hogan has a problem.
I get it. Like, if
y'all need to be in Boobs Anonymous.
Yeah, if you guys want penises, I get it. More penis. I just need a trigger warning.
No, I'm fine.
Like a little cartoon penis in the right-hand corner that when you see him. Hey, it's me, Mr. Penis. There's a real big fleshy thing coming. So if you have that's my trigger. Oh, it's Dr. Penis in the corner. Close your eyes, kids.
Oh God.
All right,
here's very few very impressive penises. I'm just gonna say, like, FYI.
Yes. There was a lot of positive reviews for a horror movie. So these are still actual
critics.
It's a motherfucking crowd pleaser. Dustin Rolls, Pajiba. Am I saying that right? Pajiba?
Sure.
It's an
Pajiba?
entertainment website.
Yeah.
Pajiba? Yeah.
For any old school horror fan, this movie is a good fit and a super fun ride. Robert Fuhr, Film School Rejects.
It is absolutely nuts and bolts. It does what it says in the packet. Mark Kermode, BBC.com.
It's lowbrow entertainment with high-tech execution, and while it's anything but scary, it is cheesy, corny, gimmicky, gory fun. William Goss, Cinematical.
Now we go to the bad.
I'm ready.
My Bloody Valentine has lousy gender politics for a slasher movie, and that's both disappointing and disconcerting because the film has probably made enough money to merit a sequel and inspire other 3D horror movies. Tammy Oller, Bitch Media.
Tell me more, Tammy.
Yeah, emphasis on the bitch, like meow. You and your gender
Did you
politics.
really just fucking meow?
Tammy.
Jeez. My Bloody Valentine 3D doesn't have nearly enough fun with either its jazzy technology or its inherently campy premise. Katie Rich, Cinema Blend, original score 2.5 out of 5.
Shocker, another girl.
Hey.
Looks like a theme running here.
Horror movies historically are not kind to women.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. Constantly brutal and consistently terrifying. The acting, that is. Michael Smith, Tulsa World, original score 2 out of 4.
Dang, Michael. Meow.
Yeah. Meow, Michael.
Meow, Michael.
IMDb, the voice of reason. 60,000 user ratings, comes at 5.4. Again, this is pretty standard for horror movies. Doesn't really persuade me at all. Although sometimes they get it right.
Yeah.
You may start.
Thank you. Bloody brilliant 3D experience and a pretty good movie. 10 out of 10, spring, sunny, winter.
Yeah. The movie is all right.
That's all right. But the 3D.
The 3D, yeah.
They did that right.
Axe and you shall receive. 9 out of 10. Zardoz, 13. Nice
Very
play on words,
punny.
Zardoz.
I love this movie, 3D or not. 8 out of 10. La Boheme, 98.
Yeah, because it can't be all about the 3D because
Yeah.
I don't have a 3D TV. I don't think anyone has them anymore.
No.
They kind of
3D is
ran
not
there.
really a thing anymore.
No. Jensen Ackles fan will love this movie. Not fans, fan. The one fan that actually likes Jensen Ackles. He will love this movie. He or she will love this movie. Whoever you are.
You will love this movie. Only you.
Again, I just copy and paste. So,
And you do a damn good job. So sad, but also fun and awesome. 6 out of 10. Feast mode.
that was so bad.
Yeah.
You said so sad.
Did I say so sad? I'm sorry. So bad.
sad.
But also fun and awesome. 6 out of 10. Feast mode. There we go. I'll get
Yeah.
it right one day. Words are hard. Letters are difficult.
Yeah, there's a question mark at the end of this one. So this person
Yeah.
wasn't quite sure if it was awesome or not.
They're like, but also fun and awesome?
Yeah. If you were wondering why Anna is kind of asking a question, that's
It's because they're asking.
it's there. Yeah.
Feast mode is questioning their choices in life.
Yeah. If I think this is awesome,
Do I think this is awesome?
a severely mediocre remake of one of the finest the 80s has to offer. 5 out of 10, Light Darkness 14.
Oh, interesting. People with low standards and monkeys may enjoy this. 4 out of 10, fertile celluloid.
Yeah, that's a pretty big claim there. Fertile celluloid.
That's okay. Monkeys?
Comparing me with monkeys. Lots of people do, though. Close, but no cigar. Ah, hell, who am I kidding? Not even close. 3 out of 10, Rough Certification.
Yeah. Rough stuff. Anyways, I would say that Lionsgate stopped trying, but they never tried in the first place. 2 out of 10, Vegeta 3986.
Burn, Lionsgate. Burn. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember this one. All right. All right. Here is the 1 out of 10 for My Bloody Valentine 2009. Graphic female nudity. Avoid. This movie poses as rated R, but should have been rated X or no less than NC-17. There is a long nude scene. It's about 7 minutes. A fully nude, beautiful blonde girl shown fully exposed, then proceeds to walk around nonstop. Score. The girl walks outside fully naked. You see her labia. Why couldn't she at least be in underwear? I do not understand that with all of the full-on nudity. It felt like they added these scenes as an excuse to have a bunch of naked women running around on the set. Yeah. Duh. 1 out of 10, Lizzie Sweet Pie. Look, Lizzie. Look, Sweet Pie. But what does that refer to? Lizzie. Sweet Pie.
Maybe she makes pies for a living.
She did not like this movie because of... I don't remember this part at all in the movie.
I don't remember it either, which is concerning me because I remember a lot about this movie, but I'm like, I do not remember a 7-minute long scene with a naked girl just walking around, labia a flying. Like, I don't remember that.
No.
So I'm like,
I will be on the lookout for it now.
well, you're always on the lookout for nudity, so let's be fucking real. But that's also another issue that is huge in horror movies in general. Any excuse to get a woman naked, they will do it. Any excuse to get a man naked, everybody on set and in production pretends they don't know what that means. And they're like, what? Men can get naked? I don't believe that. That's not true. Let's keep them fully dressed at all times. But make all the girls naked. I'm going to make a horror movie and it's going to be just a bunch of naked men getting killed.
Ugh.
Yeah, you won't watch it. But every single woman in the world is going to be like, yeah, let's watch that. I'd watch it. Go and kill an entire fraternity.
Just dicks flopping around everywhere. That doesn't sound
Actually,
fun
I'm
at
already-
all.
I think I might actually write this. I feel like it writes itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Anna's new movie is set aside. We have looked at the box office, we looked at the tail of the tape, and we have the reviews of My Bloody Valentine 2009 3D. We are not watching it 3D, but we are going to watch the trailer And then we're going to make a prediction on whether or not we are going to like this movie or not.
Exactly what did you see?
Something was following us.
This is the most horrific event this town has ever seen. Authorities are calling this the Valentine's Day Massacre.
In the town of Harmony, something unexplainable
Hello?
is happening.
Come here, you better check this out.
What is that?
This January. Prepare to witness.
What do you want?
The most frightening 3D motion picture event to tear through the screen. My Bloody Valentine 3D. Nothing says date movie like a 3D ride to hell.
Now, if 3D actually looked like that, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I did not look like that. Not even a little bit. God bless.
No. All right. So what's your prediction about My Bloody Valentine?
I think I'm still going to love it. I think I'm still going to love it because you know what? It wasn't that long ago, even though it was, what, like 13 years ago that it came out? 15 years ago it came out.
Yeah, 15
That's
years ago. That's a while ago.
Terrifying. Shut up. But I did see it a few times after that, and I always enjoyed it then. It has been probably about 10 years since I've seen it, at least.
Mhm.
So, but I think I'm still going to like it. I think I'm still really going to like it. Also, Jensen Ackles is a hottie.
And I like Jensen Ackles. I'm trying to catch up on The Boys on Amazon, and he plays one of the supers, and he's funny in it. But again, I didn't think I was going to like it when I first saw it, and I was pleasantly surprised. It can't have changed that much. I just remember it being cool and gory.
Yeah.
And now I got a bonus to look for. Yeah, I'm very excited about watching this movie.
And there's so many
I think I'm going to like
actors
it.
in that everybody recognizes and that, you know, are either great talent or people you just like to watch. And I really appreciate that. Also, when I was watching that, I was like, who was that playing? I remember that girl being the lead girl. And I'm like, she doesn't, like, she looks familiar, but she's not. And then I realized it was just Jamie King not being a blonde.
Yeah, she's not blonde in it. Yeah.
Which, like, fucked me up because her face almost felt completely different. And I was like, wow, the power of a hair color change. Jeez. But I love her, so I'm like, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Yeah, I just watched. Well, not just watched Black Summer. She's in.
Yeah,
That's a surprisingly really cool show.
Yeah,
Like
I watched the first season. I still have to watch the second. It's been out for a while, but I loved her in it, and I was like, girl, I feel like you've been missing your calling. This is amazing.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are going to go watch My Bloody Valentine 2009. And when we come back, we are going to review it.
Yeah, we are.
You heard them. Movie time. Let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves a treat. And then watch a classic kick-ass movie from whenever the one we're about to watch was made.
All right. Welcome back to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Did you watch My Bloody Valentine starring Jamie King, Jensen Ackles, Kerr Smith, and a very naked, bless her heart, Betsy Rue?
Yes, I did.
We apologize to Leslie Sweetie Pie or whatever her name was. There was definitely a long scene with a naked woman in it.
Yes. Yes, there was.
And why not just go all the way like Betsy LaRue? Way better.
I don't know, maybe because her name is not Betsy LaRue.
Yeah, but you're an actor. You can change your name.
Yeah,
What are your initial thoughts on My Bloody Valentine 3D? Well, My Bloody Valentine 2009.
Ridiculous, but a good time. Ridiculous, but a good time. That's all I got for you, man. There's so much.
Much like its predecessor, this was not perfect, but it was a lot of fun. The acting was better most of the time. The gore was better. There was a lot of shots, close-ups, and action sequences absolutely done for the 3D effect, which made
Yeah.
it corny sometimes. And I 100% forgot the twist ending.
I did not forget the twist ending.
Yeah, I totally 100% forgot, had me guessing, doubting myself, calling myself an idiot at the end. But all in all, I had fun. And when it comes to slashers or horror films in general, it's all about fun. Well, most fun film genres, not
I mean,
dramas.
well, here's the thing. I always put it down to enjoyment. So
Yeah.
not necessarily fun, but enjoyment. But like when you're done the movie, if you could be like, that was a good use of my time. I really enjoyed watching that. Even if it tore your heart out, or even if you laughed through the whole thing, cried through the whole thing, whatever. As long as you're like, you walk out of it going, God, that was great. I really enjoyed that. You're good. Like it doesn't matter what the movie was about. So I had no regrets after watching this one.
No, like I said, I did have a lot of fun watching it. All right, let's go through this 3D gore fest. On Valentine's Day, 1997, 6 miners are trapped underground by an explosion at the Hanniger mine in the small mining community of Harmony. By the time rescuers reach the miners, they find only comatose Harry Warden still alive. Further investigation reveals that Warden killed the other miners to conserve oxygen. Tom Hanniger, son of the mine's owner, is blamed for the explosion as he forgot to vent the methane lines that caused the collapse. Okay, they dropped the cannibalism.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been great. And I don't know if snobby critics from like at the whole voiceover at the beginning tell the backstory in the open credits with flashbacks, which I love that.
I loved it too. I actually made it. I was like, it is great retelling of the original massacre.
Yeah.
Like the thing that really kicked off this whole story. I'm like, this is a great way to retell it without taking up too much of the film because it's during the opening credits. You've got voiceovers going, articles that are popping up.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah. No, I do like that when movies do that. Yeah, because it gives you a lot in a short amount of time. It sets it up a lot quicker, even if it is cannibal free. You get the whole story. Tom Hanniger fucked up. Harry Warden is a dick and just kills everyone to conserve air.
Because he decided he was going to live and nobody else.
Yeah. People are blaming Tom while others are saying it was a mistake. Harry is actually the bad guy here, and Harry is in a coma, right? Because they find him unconscious, but everyone else had a pickaxe hole in their head. So after some stellar police work, they come to the conclusion that Coma Boy is a murderer. And this whole opening was done in a way to make it look cool in 3D. And in fact, it actually looked cool.
Yeah, without the 3D.
It made it actually look cool. So that was cool. 1 year later, Warden has awakened from his coma and is now murdering as an act of revenge. I don't know about the revenge part. Well, I guess it wasn't his fault that it happened, but he starts by killing numerous patients and staff at the hospital where he was a patient, leaving a victim's heart in a box of chocolates. Nice callback to the original, but killing numerous people is an understatement. This fucker killed everybody.
Like he woke up from his coma and just started killing.
Well, he was sitting there with the dead body beside him. Like he was in the next curtain over, just sitting there, and the nurse sees him. But when we go back and the police are there, there's a lot of bodies. Like a lot.
It is literally like torn in half. And I'm like, sir.
Yeah.
Like I understand maybe that coma was a little too restful for you, but come on. This is excessive.
Yeah.
That was a super, super gory scene.
Yeah, parts, like body parts everywhere. Yeah, but he woke up raring to go.
Yep.
And although this movie takes place on Valentine's, it doesn't embrace the holiday aspect like the original. Like the original really leaned into Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
This one acknowledges it, but that's about it. Like there's a couple nods to Valentine's Day, but yeah. While Tom, his girlfriend Sarah, their friends Irene and Axel, and other teenagers party inside the mine, Warden, wearing miner gear and a gas mask, attacks them with a pickaxe. Sarah, Irene, and Axel escape, but Tom is left behind with Warden. Okay, in Tom's defense, he was left behind. Like they left him behind.
They ditched him.
Yeah.
Well, actually, let me rephrase. Axel grabbed the girls.
Yeah.
And ran.
I'll save the girls.
Yeah, I don't even think he said the girls. He was just like, run, leave him, run. And I was like, wow, could you say it any louder that you want to fuck his girlfriend? Because this is not the way you get, but apparently it is. But I was like, geez, nobody's even. And then Sarah's like standing at the car just watching and being like, oh.
Yeah. Kind of felt sorry for Tom.
I totally felt sorry for him.
Plus, he was obviously traumatized by the year before when they first got to the party. Right. Even I could see that.
He was having moments because he didn't want to go back in the mine.
Yeah. I could see that. I actually have empathy deficit disorder. But she's like, I want to go party in the place where you were responsible for those murders.
Yeah, the place that totally traumatized you, where it had the entire town turn against you.
Yeah, I want to go there.
Let's go there. Let's have some beers. Get high.
Fuck you, Sarah. That's why you don't have a movie career anymore, dick.
Harsh.
So Sheriff Burke arrives and shoots Warden before he can kill the severely traumatized Tom. But Warden staggers away deeper into the mine. Yes. He did get a few people. I did like that whole scene where Axel does grab Sarah and like holding her mouth, and it was a good scene. I did like it.
No, it was great. The little chase scene, and then that guy who ends up getting killed because he like walks into the mine. He's like, "Hey guys," you're like, Jesus.
Yeah, dude, shut the.
So you're gonna die. And I mean, I'm not mad about it because somebody has to.
Yeah. 10 years later, Axel, now the town sheriff, has married Sarah, but is having an affair with her co-worker Megan. Yeah, he is.
It would be her employee.
Yeah. One weird because Axel still looks 18 years old. And this guy today has gray hair and still looks 18 years old.
He
aged very well.
Amazing. He is 51 years old.
Holy shit. And he looks
as fuck.
Like if he colored his hair, he could be 29, 32. Easy.
100%. 100%. He needs to drop the skincare routine. We need to know.
Yeah, he must be related to Paul Rudd.
We all find out they're distant cousins.
Yeah. And it was bugging the shit out of me, like who Megan was, the blacklist.
Yeah.
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 It was bugging me.
I remember her from Step Up Revolution, but
yeah, I did not remember her from there.
Yeah, no. Step Up Revolution. Apparently she also did Law and Order LA, but I was like, I know her face. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, that was her. But now that you said the blacklist, I was like, oh, right.
I saw the first half of the first season and then I just stopped watching it. But yeah, I was bugging me. And they have a nice little cabin to bang in. She gets him Valentines and chocolates. And he's like, I didn't get you anything. And she's like, yes, you did. I'm pregnant. And he's like, fuck. He doesn't say that, but the look on his face is.
That's total. Well, no, it started with I got you a little something since you're probably going to be with your wife on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And she says it like it's totally normal. And I'm like, oh, you're one of those. You think you're going to steal him away from his wife. You don't realize you're just the available pussy.
Yeah.
So he like when she hands him the Valentines, he's like, yeah. Okay. And then she's like, I'm pregnant. And you could see oh, fuck.
Yeah. He's like, I hope you get killed.
Because now he's like, we're going to have to stop this. But first, I have to convince you to get an abortion.
At the motel where Tom is staying, a masked assailant murders Irene and two other people. Okay. Yeah, the one at the time, Lizzie Pie or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was 100% correct. Irene was completely nude, labia and all.
Yes.
And I loved it.
I'm sure you did.
She worked out, and she wanted everyone to know that she worked out.
I hated this scene so fucking much.
She seemed very comfortable walking around naked.
God bless. I mean, that takes a lot of comfort and like being okay in your body and also being okay on a movie set. I really hope they cleared the set for her.
Well, she was outside naked.
Yeah. But I'm saying like let's hope there weren't any looky-loos and they had proper security and they cleared the set of any extra crew that didn't need to be there, because God bless. But it's funny to me, at least, because I was like, she moved to get to the gun that was in her purse, because she ends up having a lover's quarrel with the guy that she's fucking,
Yeah.
who apparently is also married. I
Yeah.
don't know why everybody wants to fuck married guys all of a sudden, but fine. And like, he makes some comment. He has a camera.
Yeah, he's recording her.
He's recorded the sex that they've had.
Yeah.
And she's like, give me that, delete it. I want the tape. And he's like, fuck
here's
that
some
shit.
money.
He's like, what if I pay you? She's like, I'm not a whore. He's like, you are today. And he like tosses money at her. And I was like, oh, fuck. Fine. He leaves. I was like, I'm going to tell you right now, you'd have to arrest me for murder, because I would have killed that motherfucker if he had done that to me. But anyways, she moves her shirt to get to her purse to take out the gun and go threaten him. And I'm like, girl, just put on your shirt. I'm not asking you to put on pants, because I know you're pissed and you want to like shoot the motherfucker. I'm like, I get it. Put on your shirt. Just so your titties aren't flying. But no, she just walks right out naked.
Walks right out, labia flapping in the wind.
Just all out there. I was like, those really are her labia. Hello. Nice to see you.
And it was around 7 minutes.
It was the fucking longest scene ever, because she just stayed naked. And I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah, she did. And so she pointed the gun at him, said she wants the tape of them doing it. The guy knew it wasn't loaded. She chucked it at his head. He called her something somewhere in the bitch area, crazy bitch. Opens the door. The minor killer's there and pickaxe right to the head.
And that was very satisfying.
LaRue, yes. Chases LaRue, or naked LaRue. She hides under the bed. The hotel manager comes in. This kill was awesome. It was a pickaxe golf swing.
Yes.
And she's gone. But unfortunately, LaRue gets it too.
Yes.
I don't know why she didn't go out the window or throw something to make it look like she got, but she did put up a bit of a fight, but she died in the end.
She did. God bless.
Yeah.
Naked.
Okay.
Still naked.
Yeah. Yeah. So before we head back to the movie here, this is the very definition of gratuitous nudity. Like, this wasn't side boob or just an ass shot or quick titty flash. This was as nude as you can get. And what were you thinking up to this point? Not about the nudity part. Like, well, yeah, the nudity part, but like the movie as a whole. Are you?
Movie as a whole, up until we got to super naked, I was like, okay, perfect setup. We know the backstory. We see the players. We see the players' current day. Like, we're moving forward. And then we've seen Sarah. We've seen Axel. We've seen, I think at this point, Tom. So everybody in present day. So you're all caught up.
Yeah. And
now you have to show me Irene. Cool. So that we know, you know what, her and Axel definitely not together. She's living a hot mess life. Cool. Which is not a surprise. And then just to have her naked for 7 minutes, I was like, guys, you already know you're about to kill her off, because, you know, this has to hit home for Axel. I'm like, I get that. But can you give her a little bit of dignity? Because it was excessive. It was really, really, really excessive.
Yeah, because during the sex scene, she's like looking up in the mirror. She's like,
I look great.
I look good.
I'm like, fuck yeah, 100%. But I'm like, you're walking out. There's a difference between I look great naked, fucking my side piece or my main piece, whatever he is, and walking out of the room to threaten that guy with a gun. You put on a piece of clothing. I'm not asking you to put on a whole outfit. I'm not asking you to like put on a pair of boots and socks and underwear. No, put on a shirt. Because it was a long gauzy shirt. I'm like, put on the shirt, button 3 buttons. Like, just make it make sense. Because I don't care how angry you are. You put on a shirt. You put something on. Put on a pair of panties. Something. You don't just go out labia flapping. I don't care who you are. Nobody ever gets that mad. That scared? Yes. That mad? No.
Camera footage from the scene reveals the killer dressed as a minor, starting rumors that Warden has returned. Axel receives a chocolate box containing Irene's heart. Meanwhile, Tom reconnects with Sarah and apologizes for his 10-year absence. Then he goes to the bar full of miners and they start a fight with him. Rightfully so. We find out he's selling the mine and everyone knows it'll eventually close down. Looking for Foley in the mine, Tom is locked inside a utility cage by the miner who murders the worker accompanying Tom and vanishes before help arrives. Same guy who tried to hit him and broke his hand or cut his hand. That guy gets killed.
Yeah.
Tom insists that Warden has returned, but Axel reveals that Foley and Sheriff Burke found and killed Warden after his attack 10 years ago. The group visit the woods where Warden's body was buried, but find that the grave is empty.
Yep.
Tom resolves to track down and stop Warden. Searching the woods, he finds the shack that Axel and Megan have been using for their affair. Was I the only one freaked out about the rat?
I was a little bit.
Why is rats, they have that don't give a shit attitude? Any other animal would be freaked out and fuck off. Like ones that are even bigger than rats. As soon as you got into the house or put a flashlight, the rat is like eating the chocolate like, hey, buddy, these are mine.
Yeah, the rat doesn't give a fuck. Rats don't give a fuck.
I know, it's creepy. I fucking hate rats. Thankfully, I do not see a lot of them.
Good for you.
That night, the miner kills Foley and leaves his body in Warden's grave. Who's Foley? Oh, Ben Foley, the lawyer guy.
Yes.
Yes. Great kill.
So great. And I feel really bad for the housekeeper / Danny.
Yeah.
Who's coming up.
I don't know why he took the bullets out of the gun. But the point where the killer is pulling his head over and positioning over the pickaxe, and Ben realizes he can't overpower the killer, and he's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
pickaxe right through the eye.
It was the leaning back and seeing the foot go down.
Yeah,
I was like, "Ooh,
yeah,
that hurts."
That night, Axel realizes the killer must be one of the few people aware of the grave and becomes increasingly suspicious of Tom. Which makes sense, but Axel makes a lot of sense too. One, Axel was the copycat or the killer in the first movie. Yes. Axel needs to get rid of a certain forgot to take my birth control. So it's one of those two, or it's a third party. And more than one horror movie has done this before, just some random killer just because. But I do think this movie is doing a good job, especially if it's your first time watching.
Yeah.
Keeping you guessing.
If you haven't watched the original, all of this is new to you.
Yeah.
So there's nothing for you to draw on. So you're like, I mean, there could be it could be him. It could be, Axel. It could be Tom. It could be the creepy lawyer until he dies. And then you're like, it's not him.
Yeah. And I know a lot of you are listening and going, I know who the killer is, or it's so obvious. Well, excuse me. It's not my fault God made me pretty.
Sure he did. Sure. So pretty.
God made me pretty and not able to guess movie killers. So sorry. The miner attacks Sarah and Megan, killing Megan just before Axel arrives. Okay, Wikipedia doesn't give this scene justice. Now, first, forget about the part that the killer gets into the pharmacy and instead of just going after them directly, he tiptoes around to make it more dramatic and scary.
Of course.
Because Sarah and Megan aren't hiding. They're talking aloud, not sign language. The killer could have easily zeroed in on them. Forget that stupidity. This is a great scene.
No, it is.
Then walking past like the grocery lane and he's at the end of it and then going back because they forgot something and he's gone. The chase through the grocery store lanes. The whole trapped in the back office trying to get it. Very realistic. Yeah. And Sarah figuring out something is wrong when he stops trying to get through the door and he's yelling at Megan to get back into the office. Yeah, it was a good scene. I love this scene.
She's yelling at Megan to get back in, yet doing nothing to help her.
No.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You could tell also, I want to point this out, throughout this movie, up until this point, she keeps giving Megan kind of dirty looks. Megan keeps making little comments.
Yeah.
That, very, very, very subtly say, I'm fucking your man. And Sarah keeps giving her look saying, I know you're fucking my man. So there's a lot of like subtext in their little relationship. So
she didn't want Megan to die. She wasn't sorry that Megan died.
Saying, come back to stay alive.
Yeah.
But what she's doing is absolutely nothing to help her.
Yeah.
And I can respect that. I can respect that.
Okay, yeah. And let's be honest, from the dumbest and cheesiest of horror movies to the smartest and scariest horror movie, they all need a certain degree of forgiveness when it comes to being logical about this stuff. So Sarah's hospitalized with minor wounds. The miner then kills former Sheriff Burke as well as the maid of Axel and Sarah's home. Okay, didn't he get the deputy too? The girl, the female officer that was going in. So the maid gets killed, much like Mabel in the original.
Yes,
Ends up
so we
in the
have a
dryer.
laundry kill. Fantastic.
The deputy comes in and sees the kid.
She calls for the sheriff.
Sheriff.
First, she has a conversation with the kid, stay hidden unless you hear from me, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Then she goes into the laundry room. That's when she finds the maid.
Yeah.
Or the housekeeper, whomever she may be. Rosa. Rosa was her name. And then she calls out for the sheriff who's outside investigating because he sees a light.
He sees the light and it's the
And he realizes it's the helmet from the miner.
Helmet, yeah.
Yeah. So then when he turns around at the deputy calling, he gets a pickaxe to the face.
The grossest kill of them all.
It was disgusting.
Not only did that shit look like it hurt, he screamed like a stuck pig. And rightfully so. It looked very painful.
But I can't remember if she dies there or if she stays alive.
And for those who don't remember, the miner brings the pickaxe under the chin of the sheriff and it comes out of his mouth. Sheriff Burke is screaming in pain. And then the miner rips the pickaxe backwards, ripping his entire jaw off.
His lower jaw.
Amazing, kids.
And imagine that in 3D. That shit's flying at
it
your
was
face.
shot for 3D, but it looked gross
it was a
even in
good
2D.
Kill with or without the 3D.
Yeah.
It
was
was
good.
super gross and it made me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was one of those, wincing moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess she didn't get killed.
I don't think she does.
Yeah, maybe not. Tom shows up at the hospital telling Sarah he has to show her something he found in Axel's cabin. She checks herself out and accompanies Tom. As they drive, Tom suggests that Axel is the killer. Axel calls and urges Sarah to get away from Tom, whom he says is the killer. Axel has discovered that Tom spent the last 7 years in a mental institution. Tom becomes increasingly agitated and Sarah, believing Axel, grabs the wheel and crashes the car before escaping into the woods. Okay, at this point, when you see the tree branch come into the... I wouldn't mind seeing this movie in 3D.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Like, there are very often times, like, scenes or actions that happen in 3D movies, specifically just for the 3D.
Yeah.
This one, don't get me wrong, they definitely shot things for 3D, but it wasn't out of place.
No.
Like, everything had a purpose. And even when they were shot for 3D, they didn't feel wrong in this movie when it's not 3D. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Also, we should point out that before Sarah goes out into the woods with Tom, her husband, Axel, has a conversation with her after Megan's dead.
That's right.
In the hospital. Yeah. Where she basically is like, I'm not stupid. I know you were fucking her.
Yeah.
Not in those exact words, but pretty close.
Yeah. I watched a few movies in 3D. I watched Piranha 3D. That was fantastic.
Oh, so did I. Yeah.
They showed Jerry O'Connell's pee-pee in 3D, if I remember.
They really
correctly.
did.
And boobies in 3D.
So many boobies.
And they had some fish in 3D. I know this was a fad in the 80s. My aunt and uncle had a laser disc, and in the 80s they were releasing 3D movies with the blue and red glasses.
Yeah.
I remember one weekend they rented like Amityville 3D, Jaws 3D, some other ones. I just can't remember if they were any good. I'm guessing not. I remember taking them off and it looked blurry.
Yeah.
And you put it on and it seemed to be, but I can't really remember if it was cool or it looked 3D or if it was just a gimmick. I don't know.
At that time, it would have been cool, regardless, because it was 3D. So it was just a new experience.
Yeah.
And eventually we all started realizing, like, okay, 3D can be a little excessive for some, because there was a point where people were doing 3D movies just to do a 3D movie, not that the movie would have been enhanced by being 3D.
Yeah.
So I think that's why 3D kind of fell out of favor.
Yeah, because it really did. Because they were making TVs and with graphics, but I think it was just too expensive for everyone.
Oh, it was so expensive.
Yeah, like I would be interested in getting VR goggles. And if they have 3D movies through that could be really cool. I had some VR with some of my phones, and I went on a roller coaster that made my stomach turn. We had a Jurassic Park 1 VR that made my one kid scream and cry, begging to take off the goggles. Good times.
So it's always a good time when you can make your kid scream and cry.
Oh, it's awesome. So Sarah hides in Axel's cabin because she got away from Tom.
Mm-hmm.
There she discovers evidence of Axel's affair and a tower of empty Valentine's gift boxes. The miner appears and chases her into the mine.
Mm-hmm.
She is hiding in the mine when Axel arrives and Sarah grabs his gun. Tom shows up and Sarah holds the two men at gunpoint as they each accuse the other of being the killer. I know there were a few clues during the film, but for a gore-fest horror movie like My Bloody Valentine 3D, they did a good job at playing this angle up.
Yeah. Because there really was a lot of like there were hints, there were kind of moments where you're like, oh, okay, this is odd. But it up until this point, it could have gone either way.
Yep. Yeah, I would have bought either version.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Tom, however, mentions the way Megan was killed, inadvertently revealing he is the killer.
Of course, because he can do all these murders, manage to make it to be seen all over town.
Yeah.
But he's going to fuck up by talking about that. But I will say this, like, even though I knew who the killer was, and even though I remembered it, I was still pissed Axel wasn't the killer because he's a fucking douchebag. I was like,
he's a bigger dick than Tom is.
So much bigger. And I was like, God damn it.
Normal Tom's a nice guy.
Normal Tom's a really nice guy. It's just, the alter ego trauma-induced personality of Harry. That's it.
Harry.
Of Harry. So I mean, like, other than that, I'm like, regular Tom, when he's medicated, good to go. It's just Axel's just a douchebag all around.
Yeah, because even though I was seriously questioning myself and my intelligence, I was totally on Tom's side here.
Kinda, yeah. Because honestly, here's the thing. Axel didn't have a medical condition.
No.
Axel didn't have piles and piles and piles of trauma. Axel was just a dick who was fucking around. Yeah. And then as soon as his wife has a conversation with her ex-boyfriend, he's all like, are you fucking him? Yeah. Like, why are you seeing him? Da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, you are fucking a whole other person, okay, that you knocked up, and you're mad she had a conversation with him in public? Oh, nah. Nah. Oh. I might have stabbed him just for that.
As Sarah points the gun at him, Tom hallucinates, revealing the miner is his split personality. A flashback shows him digging up Warden's mining gear and committing the murders. This was a great scene too, and I love Tom's realization, and I loved it when it clicked in Tom's head, and he just became the killer. Like he just turned on, like he became evil. After a struggle, Sarah shoots Tom, and the bullet strikes a fuel tank, which explodes. Sarah and Axel are rescued from the resulting cave-in. Tom also survives, murdering the rescue worker who finds him and escaping in the worker's gear. Yeah, another reason I thought there was going to be a sequel, or at least a direct-to-DVD.
It was set up for a sequel. Yeah, it was definitely set up.
And it made a lot of money to warrant there. A lot of horror movies that made a lot less had sequels.
Yeah, they just decided. But I was like, where do you go from here?
Yeah, maybe
do you have Tom come back to town, or do you have him go to a different town and then like Harry just kill a bunch of strangers?
Yeah, probably a good call that they didn't. And that is our movie.
Yeah, although I did want to point out one scene after he realizes that he's Harry, and then Harry takes over in his mind, in Tom's mind. He goes down the hall, breaking all of the light bulbs. A callback to the original movie too. And every time he broke a light, the gas mask or the miner mask would flash on his face.
Oh yeah, it would.
Yeah. It just like a quick flash and a quick flash. And I was like, God, that's really good.
That was cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to point that out so that when other people watch this movie, look for that. Like there are nice little touches and there are nice little callbacks to the original movie, even though this movie is very different.
Yeah.
Because even though in the original movie, Axel was not a douchebag, but he was the killer.
But he was
in this movie, he's a big giant douchebag.
But
he's not the killer.
Yeah.
Made me a little sad.
All right. So what is your score of My Bloody Valentine 2009.
Okay, so I would definitely rent this, and I would purchase at a reduced price. Because even though this is a lot of fun, it is pretty much a cheesy run-of-the-mill 2000s horror movie. So, I mean, something like this is available to you at all times on streaming services and stuff. I happen to really like this movie because it has a lot of my favorite 90s and 2000s actors in it. I have a huge crush on Jensen Ackles to this day. I have been in love with him since he was on Days of Our Lives, and his character came back from that boarding school. He was Sammy's twin brother. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is, it's a great, fun movie, and you will not regret paying $5 to $10 for it. You know, I would purchase it for $10. I probably wouldn't purchase it for more. On DVD. But I mean, it's a good, fun movie, and it's worth that much money for entertainment. So I think definitely it's worth renting and purchasing at a lower price.
All right. Okay, my score. Okay, this movie is smart. Okay, this movie is on the smarter side of your average slasher film.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to some slasher movies, this one's a fucking genius. It's gory, it's funny, got titty. It's got more than titty.
It's got labia.
Labia. It's got a high body count, surprisingly not as high as the original. Super gory. It has incredible hide your eyes but peek, grit your teeth, hold your breath, creative kills that look oh so painful. The acting is way past serviceable, from veteran actors, co-stars, smaller roles, main characters. It's an above average slasher film. I'm not saying this is an Oscar contender. I'm talking above average to really good within the horror genre. If you're into slasher and horror, I'd say buy it. This was fun. I must reiterate, this is not mainstream horror like Hereditary, Scream, Get Out, The Conjuring. This is B-horror. The Fog, Jennifer's Body, Slither, Piranha 3D, Lake Placid. And I love average fun B-horror movies. I love below average B-horror movies. I love shitty B-horror movies. But yeah, the acting, shooting, pacing, dialogue is slick and well done. I will watch this movie again. I will try to look... I would love to watch it in 3D. I don't know if that's possible anymore. But I say let My Bloody Valentine be your Valentine. And show some love and watch it.
I'm glad I got to watch this for Valentine's Day, because it is one of my favorite things is to watch horror movies where boyfriends end up dying violently. It makes me happy. Also, husbands can die violently too, but that's just because Valentine's Day sucks. However, the day after Valentine's Day is my favorite, because that's when all the chocolate goes on discount.
It's all on sale.
Yeah, man, you could get some really good shit for a good price. I'm like, fuck yeah. Unfortunately, I think Godiva closed all of their stores, but going to Godiva after Valentine's Day, it was magic. But yeah, no, I totally agree. This is a really good, fun, above average.
Yeah.
80s or 90s, 2000s. God, what decade is
2009.
it? 2000s horror movie, and it's a fun one, and it's got a little bit of a twist, and it has some very attractive people in it.
All right, so My Bloody Valentine 2009. Yes, thanks for watching or listening, and until the next movie we remember liking.
Congratulations. You just had one of your childhood movie memories vindicated. Or they just eviscerated it. I don't know. This is a generic one-size-fits-all type of ending to the podcast. So thank you for listening, and please join Anna and Jimmy next time for another episode of the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. If you dare to go back and watch that movie you remember liking,